But now we've started, we should have the screen share up and running. Okay, I'm getting some thumbs up now. Good. All right, so what we're looking at again is one of our responsive, this is one that's in progress, site that I like to play with a fair bit when we're testing new features. So it does have, it's a little rough around the edges in places, but what I really want to highlight first off is this responsive functionality. So jumping back a bit, we're going through a responsive simulator. So this is taking the existing site, which I'd already mentioned, we've blown up a little bit to show detail on the screen share, but now we're running it through first previewing how it would appear to a desktop computer. Then you see as I switch over here to a tablet in landscape mode. So this would be your typical 10-inch tablet, something with a fairly decent screen resolution, and turned the landscape. If we turn upright to portrait, you can see the screen gets a little narrower. And you notice how things have changed a little bit. We have the same content, same slider, right? Same products down below. But what's happened is our navigation has changed a little bit, simplified, and the background has changed. Right? So we're keeping the same look, same theme, same branding, but it's just reorganizing a little bit to be more suitable for the device that it's on. Now if we switch down to a smartphone, you can see again we're with much smaller real estate. The highlighted, the brighter area here is what's actually showing, and then you can scroll through that. And again, very easy navigation here right away. So it's pretty important, especially when you're dealing with smaller real estate on smartphone, is changing navigation pretty quickly. So we've been doing responsive design for almost a year for new clients with custom sites. And while it is a fair bit more expensive than just doing traditional HTML, we feel it's really the direction to go. And Google has come out in recent months a few times to really emphasize that for search and for user experience, responsive is the way that they recommend people going. We've published a few blog posts on it as well, so you can check the Florist SEO blog, floristSEO.com, for some more background on that. But I wanted to touch on this, show off where we're at. And so long term, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to bring responsive to all of our existing templates, but we are going through the process with some clients who are interested in getting their custom designs converted over to responsive. So it doesn't really change the design that much, it changes the behavior of the design. So that's something that we're exploring. And then for new customers who are looking for something a little more affordable than a complete custom site, we're starting to offer this hybrid model where we take kind of an existing responsive framework, is not a template. We're not selling template sites anymore. We really, really want to focus on branding and kind of get our florists out of that template rut and move into something that's more of a branded experience for your customer. But we understand not everybody has the resources to go with a fully custom responsive site. So hybrid is kind of where we've met in the middle. We take our responsive framework and then apply a certain level of customization to that. So ideally, you wind up with something that's fairly unique. While not 100% customized to you, it's kind of a happy medium of balancing cost and branding and mobile experience. So that's just a quick overview of responsive and what we're looking at here. It seems like everybody's still happy with what you're able to see at the moment. Just going to jump back out of the simulator back into the site. And then I want to highlight just a few blocks. This one is certainly not new, but I don't think it's really been publicized much. And I think there's a lot of potential here for this. So I'm going to take this page, put it in edit mode, and slide on down and add what we're going to call a page ear block. Okay. And a page ear is really simple to set up. It's going to ask us for 2 images. So I'm going to start by taking a smaller image from the file manager and then a larger one. And then we have some additional options in here that you can play with, but I'm just going to start by accepting the defaults and show you what we get. So I'll publish that page with the changes. And what's going to happen now is you'll notice up in the top left corner, we've got that little kind of dog ear effect happening. Okay. So it's a little bit of movement, a little bit of color, attracts the eye. And if I slide on over here, you'll see that that opens up to reveal a message. Right, now this could be advertising whatever you want. If you have a mobile app, if you're running a contest, getting people to sign up for your newsletter, anything where you want to attract some attention. This is a nifty little way to do that. And it's really not much involved in setting it up. You just need to have the smaller image, which is what shows right now. So we got the little page movement action, and then the larger image, which is what is revealed when we peel back. Yeah, simple little thing. If you don't have that set up on your site right now, just drop us a ticket through the support desk, and we'll make sure that that's activated right away for you. So that is the page ear block. Jump back into the options for that just for a moment, show you a couple of other things you can do. It's quite a simple thing. First off, when you're picking the images, you can determine the size of both the small image that previews and then the larger image that's revealed. Now we've got these set to the defaults right now of 100 pixels by 100 pixels for the small and 500 by 500 for the larger one. Options over here let you activate the mirror effect if you want it. You can also link that, so you can have that page ear be just informational. Right? If you're maybe revealing free shipping on free shipping to all funeral homes, or order today for free ship, something like that, where it's just an informational message or promotional message, then you don't need that to link through. If you were trying to get somebody to sign up for your newsletter, maybe offering a little incentive or just a reminder, you would want to use this option here. Just paste in the URL to your site that you want to link to. If it's something off your site, you can change that to a new window. So for example, you were linking to your Facebook page or to a contest on your Facebook page, you may want to have that set to open in a new window. So Facebook opens in a new tab, but they're not leaving your site at the same time. And then further down, you can set if you want the page ear to open automatically. You can set the speed and the direction. You can have it in the left corner or the right corner. So the way our images are set up for this one, I'm keeping it in the left corner. Once we save that, publish the page again. So yeah, we've got our little page ear effect. Over to that. There we go. And I do realize it's jumping around a little bit. That's related to the page being expanded, so it's a little easier to see in the webinar. It does behave quite nicely on the live site. Sometimes some of the best effects that you can get in your site are just little details. And one of the newer blocks that's come out for our platform, it's actually just in testing and about to be released, is the headline block. I'm going to show you a couple examples of this. We've got this one right here that's our best sellers. And so I'll put the page back in edit mode for a moment. And you're probably thinking, it's text, not all that exciting. But it can be. Some nice little touches that you can do with this. It's a block specifically for putting in headlines. And of course you can put in the text itself. You can add line breaks in here. You can expand this a bit, say our awesome bestsellers. You can have borders above or below, so I'm going to switch this to say top and bottom. can have it all uppercase or upper and lower. Fixed width, so if you want to keep the headline to a certain size, you can do that. Once you set the width, the height of the font will adjust accordingly. Or we can set it to full width where it will fill whatever real estate is available on the screen. Now the nice thing with this is also responsive block, so as you go through different screen sizes on different devices, this heading size will adjust accordingly, which is a nice feature. And here's where it gets really interesting, is that when you, on the next tab for the font, you can choose not only the font color, but you can choose from a number of CSS3 fonts, or to the Google Web Fonts library, which currently has almost 600 web fonts available. And you can see there's a nice big drop-down list, or you can click here to search and preview those web fonts, see what your options are. And this really lets you just kind of jazz up your headlines a little bit. So I'm going to pick one of the Google Web Fonts. We can also choose to have this link somewhere, or just keep it as just a plain text heading. So I'm going to save those updated changes and then publish. And that to finish up. So you can see the font has adjusted to fill to the whole width using the new font that we selected and adding the top and bottom borders. So that's something you can have a lot of fun with. It's a little detail, it's a little touch, but it can help kind of spruce up your content a little bit by adding those headers in. That's another little block I wanted to show. Something else that's we've had a few requests for and kind of having some fun with is a pop-up block. And this basically just lets you toggle, either have some text or in images. Okay, great question. Lisa's asking, are these options available only for custom sites, or are they for templates as well? These are available for anybody who's running on our V3 platform. So anybody who's running on the new platform's got all of these features. Okay, so getting back to the pop-up block. Pop-up block will let you have either an image or some text, and then click on that, or have it open automatically, and then display either some content from another page or video or something like that. So just to show you this quickly, I thought I'd rock the pop-up Gangnam style. We've set up a little link here. And when I click on this, it opens a new tab with a YouTube video. It just pops that over top. If you've never taken the time to watch the whole video, it's well worth the 4 minutes out of your life. One of the most watched videos on YouTube in history. Quite entertaining. So that's a quick look at how the pop-up block works. Just to get under the hood a little bit. Down here to edit the block that we already have in place. Okay, so what this is going to do is ask us if we want to use an image, if we want to use text, what do we want people to interact with. Okay. Options for the pop-up styles, you can do an iframe, which means basically embedding a page from your site, embedding a page from another site. Ajax is just a different method to bring it right in. It's very similar. Then Vimeo or YouTube or photos or file sets, anything. There's quite a list of options here. All right, so I could, for example, have it pop up a picture, and pick that one. And lots of advanced options in here. You can have titling and description to go along with this. Now you can set it to automatically pop up when the page loads. Again, some sharing links. as I said, lots to do in here, lots to play with. And with this kind of thing, really the best option is to just try setting it up on a page and play with it. And again, if you don't have this block currently installed on your site, please just drop us a quick support ticket and we'll make sure that that gets activated for you. Now that I've clicked on there, that's just loading up. Boom, quick pop-up with the sharing icons. Description and title would be in here as well if I had added any. I can choose to blow that up even more. Beautiful roses came from my recent trip to Ecuador. As a nice group of people got to go down and tour some flower farms, visit the Agriflora show. Great time and just amazing, amazing flowers. Right, so that's the pop-up block. Okay, George, I see your question there, and I'll jump to that at the end. Okay. One more thing that I wanted to touch on just before we move into the Q&A. We have a site where we get our users to suggest new features and vote on features. And I just want to make sure that everyone's aware of this. We've hyped it in the newsletter a few times. We mention it often through the support desk and interactions, but I just feel this is worth bringing up one more time. If you go to F20, that's for Florist 2.0, so f20.uservoice.com, f20.uservoice.com. I'm just going to paste the link in the chat box there as well. Okay, this is where you can see what features other users are requesting, or if you want to add a feature that we don't have yet and no one else has requested it, you can add it in here as well. And what we try and do is pace our development based on what our users are asking for. So we come up with a lot of great ideas. Our dev team comes up with some great ideas, but so much of our development is driven by feedback. And this is a great way for us to get a handle on what our clients are looking for. Now, you guys use the platform every day, use it in real-world situations, and I'm sure there are plenty of times where you have those, oh, I wish it could do this, or I wish it did this, something else a different way. You can do that through here. You'll also notice in your dashboard, if you're running the V3 platform, in your dashboard there's a little red tab that says Suggest a New Feature. Same thing. You can just click on that straight from your dashboard, drop your request in here. Other people can vote on it, and we will develop the most popular requests first. So if you want it, make sure you ask for it and vote for it. Okay. So move along now into the Q&A. The first question that we had that came into us was asking about how to order items on the home page. And really the best way to do that is with a product set. Now, product sets are a feature we brought out, probably about a year ago. And with product set, it's just another way of grouping and managing a bunch of products. So product sets are set up in your dashboard. Jump down into here real quick. So you can see here in the dashboard we've got one set created right now. So figure set is kind of like it's a basket or a folder or grouping. If I click on that, that lets me rename the set or see what products are in the set. Now the nice thing about sets is you can reorder them. So I just drag and drop, move Stargazer Garden over to the #1 spot, save the change. There we go. Now you add items to a set or remove them from a set by editing the properties of any particular product. If I click on over the rainbow and then edit properties and right on down to the bottom, see there's an option that says place this product in a set. And depending on how many sets you have, you're going to see them all listed right here. So I could toggle featured to say, yes, I want it in the featured set, or no, I don't. So we're going to leave that the way it is right now. Go back to our home page. Because now that we've looked at that set, and see we have those 4 items in here, you see they are displaying up here in the front. I'm going to edit the home page. And these are just simply in a product list block. So if I edit that block, first tab is determining, again, what products we want to show. Right? So the first tab says, what, whether it's a keyword search, which really don't recommend using very much often, but it's there. You can filter by price point. You can filter by attributes like occasion or color, or you can use sets. So here we've got it to just filter by sets. We've got that toggled. That's the only restriction. And then on the third tab, under search results, right, is where we've filtered our search. And now we've got our search results coming out, and I want to start by having those in set order. Right? So not by name, not by price, not by the date, by set order. So we got those, save that option, and that's how they display. So if I want to change up the order of things here, I just go into that set in the dashboard, drag and drop them to whatever order I want, and that's how they will appear on the home page. And on the topic of sets, Lisa's asking, does product set replace occasions? Yes. Right now, still the most popular way of doing the catalog pages, occasion pages, color pages, and such is to do a product list block that is filtering by attribute. Now we do have a tool that can convert all the attributes into sets to give you a little more control over that. So if you would like to have your attributes converted en masse into sets, then go ahead and drop a support ticket. We'll get that taken care of pretty quickly for you. And all that would do is under the search by occasion or thing like that, where you're showing pages that are grouped by occasion, it would just be displaying the set for that occasion instead of filtering by attribute. So again, just gives you a little more control over the ordering. Otherwise, would behave pretty much as normally. See if we have what other questions we have here in the chat. Let's scroll back up. Okay, so similar topic, Lynn's asking, is it advisable to change front page selections frequently, and how frequently? Yeah. Now, I think of a clever way to address that, but really that's come down to yes. Frequently in that you should try and keep it interesting. Don't let it get stale. I really don't like to put rigid term, like say every 3 days or every week or every month, something like that. Certainly seasonally. One of the options that you'll have in a product list block on your home page or any other page is to just have the block output your most purchased products. So if you have items on your site that people are buying all the time, and you want to promote the stuff that sells, it's a great automated way to do that, and that will keep updating as people keep buying from your site. You can also have listing the most recently added items. You can change it up according to what's come into inventory at the moment. It's all about what do you want to sell, what do you want to feature. If you have new product and new flowers that are coming in, you want to feature those. If it's the tried and true stuff that's already really selling well, and you want to make sure that you've got that front and center, do that. Try and keep your home page relevant to either the season or what you're selling. Okay. So George got a couple questions in here. The second one's about locking products to the home page. I'm going to guess that's something similar to what we were just talking about. Depending on how your product list block is set up right now, you may, for example, have, if you're using a set, you might have more products in the set than you have room to display, and so that could be affecting what's displayed if it's trying to show a sampling of your product set. Otherwise, if you're using one that's automatically generated, something like the the most purchased or frequently viewed is another option. you can look at product placement, Coke Zero. Another option is the most popular products by view. So what do people look at the most? Again, another option. So depending on how your product list block is set up, you can very easily lock down what products are shown. Just keep it, use a set, usually something called featured or homepage or bestseller, something like that. Have a set, have a particular number of items in there, and most importantly, have that product list block set to display the items in set order. So it's pulling from your featured product set and it's displaying them in order. So if you have a dozen products in there and your list block is set to only show 4, it's going to show numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 all the time. And jumping back a little bit, you're asking also about adding product with multiple price points where the customer can select. Okay. We can have a quick look at that. That uses something called customer choices. Okay, so we'll use our over the rainbow friend here. And we'll notice that the base price on that right now is $181.95. So in looking at the product, there's a button here for customer choices. And we've got, we can add a number of different options here. What we want to do is a select product price option. All right, so they're going to select an option that's going to influence the product price. Okay, and we can call this size or upgrade, like that. We'll go size. Okay, so a handle is how this option is referred to internally. Name is what's actually displayed on the site. Okay. And then you can make this optional or required for purchase. Okay. And then start adding in some values. So these are all incremental. So we'll say that first option should be as shown, and 0 because we're not putting the price up or down. Okay, now we have the next one called deluxe. And seeing as our starting point was $181, $5 or $10 increment here is not going to really have much effect on a $180 arrangement. So let's put this one, let's say $70 more. So we'll go up to $250, right? 180, 250, I'll go up from there. So we're going to add, we have a $70 add there. And then premium size, we'll make that one 150. With a high value item like this, you want to make the options pretty significant. And we could even, just for example, use this one called token, right? A way of saying it's a smaller version. And put that, call it, make that one $80 less. That's a minus 80. Yeah, there we go. So now that I've adding in that customer choice, if I look at the over the rainbow product on the site, right, now I have a size option here. So I can say as shown, I can go up deluxe, up premium, down the token amount. And then when I add to cart, that all gets added together. Okay, we do have a video tutorial about this on the help desk as well. So if you want to go through that a little slower with a little more commentary and details, you can check that out. And if it's giving you trouble, use help desk, submit a ticket, and we'll go through it with you. Okay, jumping back to the chat window for some more questions. Okay, another question, are we safe to update our platform on a custom site? No, we handle the software updates for you. That's part of the service we provide, especially because everything we're using is customized. So it's not, even though our base platform is Concrete 5, it's not stock Concrete 5. It's our customized version of Concrete 5. So that's something that we need to handle for you. We're in the process right now of moving the sites from a base of Concrete 5's 5.4 to 5.5. 5.6 is the current stock version of Concrete 5, but there are still a number of little bugs and things in that we're not comfortable with. So we're not going to move anybody. We don't advise moving to 5.6 until that's really locked down. So we will actually quite often stay one major release behind the mainstream version just for that reason. That when a new version, with any software, when a new version comes out, as much as they put a lot of effort into beta testing and such, there are going to be little issues, little nags, and when we are using a customized version especially, you can't just jump through versions quickly. And if there are any changes in the back end, as what happened with going from 5.4 to 5.5 with a major overhaul of the back end of the site, that can cause a lot of problems if you just go ahead and do it without the proper process. So we'll do that for you. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions there in the chat window. So if you've got any more, we're about ready to wrap up. It's about 4:40 now. We're getting ready to, I'm going to end. One thing I'm going to do is get you the link for next week's meeting. Yeah. Okay, so if you want to get a head start on joining us for next week's meeting, I just pasted the link there in the chat window for you. That, of course, will also be coming out in the email. Okay, this meeting has been recorded, so we'll have this available online for all of our members as well. Lord willing, if all the recording and publishing goes properly, then we'll have that available for your reference. Okay. Got one more question in the chat window asking about version information. Okay, and then he found it. You'll find that in the dashboards when you log into the back end of your site. It's up in the top corner. You usually see something like 5422 or I think 5521 is the current version we're moving most sites to right now. Okay, last call for any questions. All right, well, thank you very much for joining us for a week one of F20 Live, and hope to see you back next week. Please keep firing away questions if you've got anything through the week that you want to ask us about for next week's show. If you've got like how-to questions, some ideas you want to see if the platform can handle, we love those, so send them our way, and we'll get some demonstrations ready for you. Otherwise, we'll be ready next week to show off some more cool new features and other things. Oh, yes, great. Okay, got a message from Lisa. She'll see you in Connecticut next weekend. Yes, I'm going to be speaking at the Florist Success Program by the Connecticut Floral Association, which is going to be excellent. Cinda Baxter from the 350 Project is there as well, and it looks like a great design program on recycling, recycled vases and so some cool stuff like that. So that's going to be a very jam-packed day. So I'm looking forward to that. Some people from Florist for Change will be there. Talk a little bit about their program as well. So I'm not sure how they're fitting this all into one day. The organizers done that just fantastic job of shoehorning everything together. But definitely going to be a pretty jam-packed, information-filled Sunday. So Lisa, I look forward to seeing you there. That's going to be fantastic. Okay, George's got one more question. Do we need a support ticket for the update, or is it automatic? It is. It's not automatic in that that happens on its own. That's something that we have to do on a site-by-site basis, especially when we're jumping up a major version. There's not much in the way of functionality added between 5.4 and 5.5. It's a lot of back-end stuff, so you're not missing out on a whole lot at that point, but we are carefully, especially with some of our more complicated sites, going through and making sure that the upgrade process is not going to break anything. And of course, taking lots of backups along the way, which is what we're here for. Again, thank you very much. Have a great afternoon. Go sell some flowers, and I look forward to seeing everybody next week.